Good evening. It is 6:30 p.m., February 12th, 2025, and the meeting of the Urban Design Commission will now come to order. May we please have a roll call?
Monica Sullivan.
Here.
Edith McKee.
Here.
Julia Foland.
Here.
Ryan Lucas.
Here.
James Coles.
Here.
Allison Gordy. Alexandra Nanello and Trevor Strait are excused. You have a quorum. Thank you.
Thank you. May we get a motion to approve the minutes from, oh goodness. December 11th, 2024. It's been moved by Commissioner Sullivan and seconded by Commissioner Foland. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Are there any online? Are there any objections to the minutes being approved? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. We'll now move on to the special order of business. Are there any disclosures this evening? There are no disclosures, so we will move on to the consent agenda. May we have a motion to approve Resolution 2024-006 on the consent agenda? It's been moved by Commissioner Foland and seconded by Commissioner Sullivan. Would anyone like to pull an item from the consent agenda for discussion or corrections? Hearing none, the consent agenda is approved. We don't have any unfinished business or items on the regular agenda this evening. Therefore, I'll move on to public hearings. And this evening, we do have a short board, so I'll read that process. And then I'll invite case 1 to come up and then case 2. When there is a short 5-member board or commission and a postponement is offered to and agreed to by the petitioner, they will be moved to the next regular agenda. This should occur within 30 days, which does not require re-noticing the case, new public hearing notices / advertising. Would the petitioner for case number 2024-0122 please come up to the podium? And there's a little button on there that you have to hit so that we can, yep, perfect, thank you.
Can I move this down?
Yep. Please state and spell your name for the record.
My name is Kelly Kolb, K-O-L-B, last name K-O-L-B, as in boy, and I'm here for Roberta Kolb.
Would you like to postpone your case tonight, or?
I would. Thank you.
Thank you. Then case 2024-0122 will be postponed to March 12th.
Okay.
Thank you for coming out this evening.
Did I push this again?
Sure. Sure. Thank you. Would the petitioner in case number 2025-0002 please come forward? Please state and spell your name for the record.
Scott Pullis, P-U-L-I-C-E.
Thank you. Would you like to proceed this evening, or would you like to postpone?
Yes, we would like to proceed this evening.
Great, thank you. I need to read the process for which, so I've got a few other steps I have to come back, and then I'll call you right back up. Thanks. Okay, so now I'll read the public process. The procedure by which the public may speak to the Urban Design Commission at its meeting is: 1, after the staff presentation is completed on public hearing items, the chair will ask for public testimony on the issue. 2, persons who wish to testify will follow the time limits established in the Urban Design Commission Rules of Procedure. Petitioners, including all their representatives, will have 10 minutes. Rebuttal by the petitioner may be allowed when time has been reserved. Representatives of groups, community councils, PTAs will have 5 minutes, and individuals will have 3 minutes. When your testimony is complete, you may be asked questions by the commission. You may only testify once on any issue unless questioned by the commission. Any party of interest wishing to appeal shall first file with the planning director within 7 days of the commission's decision made on the record a written notice of intent to appeal in accordance with AMC 21.03.050A.4A. Commission recommendations to the Anchorage Assembly are not appealable. Following approval of the written findings of fact and decision, any party of interest may, within 20 days, file an appeal by filing a notice of appeal and paying the appeal fee and deposit in accordance with Section 21.03.050. The notice of appeal must be filed with the planning director on a form prescribed by the municipality. If the appellant is not the applicant, the appellant notice of appeal shall include proof of service on the applicant. With respect to case 2025-002, the petitioner is requesting design variance from AMC 21.050.060D.4.B.I. May we please have staff's presentation?
Thank you, Madam Chair. None of the state and municipal reviewing agencies object to the granting of this variance. The department mailed 454 public hearing notices on January 24th, 2025. As of this writing, no public comments, no responses were received, and the Sand Lake Community Council adopted a resolution of support for the granting of this variance. You'll find that on page 66 of your packet if you want to see the Sand Lake Community Council's resolution in favor of granting the variance. This is the Diamond Airport parking site, and the owner hopes to add a self-storage facility in the back. The petition site contains 11.31 acres, and it's zoned I-1 Light Industrial District. The Planning Department finds that all the approval criteria for the granting the variance have been met. The applicant is requesting a variance to allow a self-storage facility on a site, even though it contains 11.31 acres. However, the actual area of the self-storage facility will be less than 10 acres, in keeping with the code requirement. The code requirement says that the site of a self-storage facility shall contain no less than half an acre and no more than 10 acres. This property, of course, exceeds that, but as I said, this is really a no-brainer because the area of self-storage is smaller than 10 acres. But the way that it's worded, they technically need to seek the variance. Again, all the approval criteria have been met, and the department's recommending approval for the variance subject to condition 1 on page 4 of your packet. Be happy to answer any questions. And the petitioner is here with the presentation as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions of staff? Okay, will the petitioner please come forward again? Please state and spell your name for the record.
Hello, members of the commission and planning staff, and thank you for letting us present our design variance case tonight. My name is Scott Pullis, P-U-L-I-C-E. I am a civil engineer at Lounsbury, and with me is Matthew Samuel, S-A-M-U-E-L. He's the Alaska rep for Diamond Parking. I'm going to...
Hold on, sorry.
Yep.
You'll have 10 minutes to present. Would you like to reserve any of your time for rebuttal?
No, I'm going to be quick and short. I'll reserve 5 minutes because I'm not even going to get there.
Thank you.
How about that? Going?
Yeah, sorry.
So yeah, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. We agree with planning staff and their recommendations. We agree we've met the criteria. We think the intent of the code is for storage to be between half an acre and 10 acres. We're basically proposing 4 acres on an 11-acre site. We've gone through the building permitting process. We really have no comments remaining. It's all been resolved except for this variance and a few, construction notes they always put in about construction general permits, et cetera, as-builts. So the building department believes we've met the criteria for the site. With that, I think we'll just agree that we've met the intent, and we would love your approval on this variance, and we will answer any questions you have.
Are there any questions of the petitioner?
I have nothing.
Mr. Calls? Commissioner Calls?
I got no questions.
Please proceed. Please feel free to ask your questions.
I didn't have any questions. Sorry.
So I'm going to just confirm that there are no questions of the commissioners, or commissioners' questions. And just to state for the record that there is nobody in the audience, would your co-partner like to make a statement or testify? We can't. Okay, sorry.
I think we're good.
Okay. Would the petitioner like to use their remaining time for rebuttal?
I'm just going to say we appreciate you guys for showing up for a 10-minute variance thing, and we're all here, and thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are there any more questions from the commission for the petitioner or staff? Okay. All right, the public hearing is now closed. The matter now rests with the body. We will move and vote on the variance. May we have a motion to approve case 2025-0002? It's moved by Commissioner Foland. Mover, please state your motion.
I move in case 2025-002 to approve a variance from AMC 21.05.060D.4.B.I, size of site to allow a self-storage facility to exceed 10 acres in the I-1 Light Industrial District, subject to the conditions shown on page 4.
It was seconded by Commissioner Sullivan. Commissioner Foland, would you please speak to your motion?
The approval criteria of A, the application must state with particularity the relief sought and must specify the facts or circumstances that are alleged to show the application substantially meets the following standards. Standard A, the proposed alternative achieves the intent of the subject design standard to the same or better degree than the subject standard. The standard is met. Standard B, the proposed alternative achieves the goals and policies of the comprehensive plan to the same or better degree than the subject standard. The standard is met. C, the proposed alternative results in benefits to the community that are equivalent to or better than compliance with a standard or subject standard, and the standard is met. Letter D, the variance, if granted, will not adversely affect the use of adjacent property as permitted under this code. The standard is met. Standard E, the variance, if granted, does not change the character of the zoning district where the property is located. It is in keeping with the intent of the code and does not permit a use not otherwise permitted in the district in which the property lies. The standard is met. Standard F, persons with disabilities are provided with access as required by the Americans with Disability Act and reasonable accommodation. The standard is met. Standard G, the variance, if granted, does not adversely affect the health, safety, and welfare of the people in the municipality. The standard is met. H, in evaluating the request for a variance from the maximum size height, the Urban Design Commission may consider whether there are special topographic circumstances that would result in a material impairment of visibility of the sign from the adjacent roadway, which significantly diminishes the owner's or user's ability to continue to communicate adequately and effectively with the public through the use of the sign. The standard is met, and their department recommendation, which seems reasonable, is within 1 year, record a notice of zoning action, a drawing, and the resolution of approval with the State of Alaska District Recorder's Office and provide proof to the Planning Department. So I think all the standards are met in this, and it's a pretty clear-cut, straightforward case.
Thank you, Commissioner Folland. Commissioner Sullivan, would you like to speak to your second?
No, I have no comments.
Thank you. Are there any other commissioners wishing to speak to the motion and/or add findings? Okay. There is no further discussion. May we have a vote on case number 2025-0002?
Mr. Collis, how do you vote?
Approve.
Ms. Lucas, how do you vote?
Approve.
Thank you.
Okay. Case 2025-0002 passed with a vote of 5 in favor and 0 against and 0 abstaining. We'll continue with our agenda. We don't have any appearance requests, reports, or commissioners' comments. Therefore, this concludes UDC's business for the evening. Could I please get a motion to adjourn? Was moved by Commissioner Folland and seconded by Commissioner Sullivan. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the meeting is adjourned at 6:47 p.m.
That was the fastest meeting ever.
Especially with two.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And I
Thank
was
you, guys.
about the
Goodbye.
No, and we can't tell her that. Yeah, no.